Best friend, 23 female, got too drunk and tried to sleep with me, 31 male. How should I handle this in the morning? Every year, my uni mates and I, 31 male, spend a few days at my mate's family's summer house. They've been bringing their respective girlfriends and wives the past few years, but this year I've decided to bring my best friend, 23 female, along. For the past several months, we've had a heavy flirtation going on, but we're just friends. I think you can tell where this is going. We got in today after a long train and we started drinking with my mates. We all started watching a movie, and over the course of the movie, my BFF and I went from sitting to holding hands to cuddling. And then, when we got up to go to bed, we had to share a bed, but we've slept together platonically before and it was no big deal. It became obvious how drunk she was. She could barely walk down the hall. She was tripping and falling so much I had to help her walk. We got to the bedroom and she starts hitting on me. She's nibbling my ear, fiddling with my belt, and trying to pull my shirt off. We're both laughing at this point because it's still fully hitting me exactly what's happening. And then she asks in this very giggly, slurred, drunk way, "Do you want to F me?" The answer to that is yes, I do want to F her, well and often. But she was far too drunk to give consent. I told her that she was drunk, but she kept taking my shirt off and having a hard time at it. I told her we were going to go to sleep and she should get ready for bed. I went to the bathroom and jerked off. I am human after all. And when I got back, she was in her underwear, struggling to get a shirt on. I helped her and then got into bed. She started coming on to me again, kind of grasping and fumbling and trying to nibble at my neck. So said, "Let's just lie here for a while." So she cuddled up to me and pretty quickly she fell asleep. I've never been in a situation like this. I've never had a romantic situation, if you can even call it that, with a friend. And I've never had to deal with a girl this drunk. I don't know if I should bring it up or not, but my natural inclination is to let sleeping dogs lie, and in the morning, after she gets sick, if she asks, I'll tell the truth, but probably won't bring it up. So, I don't know if that's the right course of action, however. Reddit, what do you think I should do in the morning? Oh, wait. Kind of love him for that. Love him for being like, yes, I want to, but she definitely cannot give consent with how drunk she was, because, like, this is, honestly, I feel like this is definitely applauding a fish for swimming, but not a lot of guys would say no just because a girl is drunk. Like, the amount of times that would have saved me in a situation, that would have been great, you know? Like, if someone would have done that with me, but they didn't, and not gonna fault them for that, but sometimes I would question, like, that was crazy because I don't even remember that. So I can't even imagine how drunk I was acting, looking, being, and yeah, I don't know, but thank God for him actually being, like, considerate of that. I also do think that he should bring it up with her. Like, why not? Because, I mean, she might remember, like, little snippets of the night and be embarrassed, and I think it would be probably less embarrassing for her to know that, like, you did want to, and it's not that you were, like, you know, grossed out by her or anything, but you just didn't want to take advantage of her because she was so drunk. And I think that she would probably respect you for that and just be like, oh, thank you so much for that, honestly. Because whether or not she still feels the same way, she'll feel better knowing that, like, she wasn't just being crazy and, like, throwing herself at you and feeling embarrassed about it, because you know that anxiety can get you the next day. Even if you don't do anything wrong, sometimes I'll just be making shit up in my head. I'm like, oh my God, what did I say? What did I do? What if I did this? What if I, like, was naked in the middle of a Whole Foods? Like, I'll literally make shit up like that in my head if I don't remember snippets of the night. And I'll just be like, the craziest thing happened, probably, I bet. All right, this is update one day later. She's asleep again, so I have time to update. It's been a crazy day, but Reddit was super helpful. This morning when she woke up, she was immediately sick. I brought some tea to the loo for her where she was being sick. Her memory was hazy, but she remembered something went down. She asked if we did anything, and I was honest. I told her no, but that she tried. She asked me why I didn't go for it, and I said it was because she was too drunk, and I didn't know if that was really what she wanted. She thanked me for it, but the conversation didn't go much farther at that moment because she was still sick, and everyone else was getting ready to go out. When she was feeling better, we went about our day as planned, which didn't provide much opportunity to talk. End of the day, when we got back from the pub, but neither she nor I drank. We didn't get a quiet moment from everyone until later that night, getting munchies in the kitchen. I decided to bring it up again, so I asked her if I should just write last night off as a drunk mistake or if that was what she really wanted. She tried to avoid the question, but I pressed it until she said something generic about booze being liquid courage. She did thank me for being a gentleman and not taking advantage of her, and I told her that no matter how turned on I was or how much I adored her, I would never take advantage of her, and that our friendship was more important than a night of drunk sex. We started talking about our relationship, what exactly we were. We got to a point in the conversation where I simply said that she was beautiful, intelligent, kind, and would make someone very happy. She would make me very happy. We both leaned in and kissed. It was a great effing kiss, like a hauntingly great kiss, but it didn't go very far because my mate's wife walked drunk into the kitchen. We split apart, and then she decided to go upstairs and take a shower, and she told me she would see me up there. This is where I F up. My mate came in too, and he and his wife started pretty brutally fighting. They're at the point that they're getting a divorce. My mate was in pretty bad shape, so I calmed him down and talked to him for a while. I mean, my good mate is getting a divorce, so of course I talked to him as long as he needed. For a really, really long while. Like, when I finally got up to bed, she was already asleep. I poked at her a little to wake her up, but this girl is a super heavy sleeper. When she's out, she's out. So, I've made lots of progress, and yet I'm pretty much in the same exact place that I was last night. And if I know her well, and I certainly do, she's going to avoid talking about it on the train, so I won't be able to talk to her until we get home. Hopefully I'll manage some sort of game plan on the train as to what the F to say to her or do. Somehow, I'm even more nervous about talking to her about what happened tonight than I was about talking to her about what happened last night. Well, I think you need to stop being so nervous. Easier said than done, but like, just tell her what happened. Be like, hey, I'm so sorry. Like, last night after you went up to get ready and go to bed, blah, blah, blah came in and they were fighting. And so we talked a long while about like, to make sure that he was okay. I mean, I think that's pretty, like, as you should. You shouldn't ignore your friend when he's in a hard time just so that you can go get laid. Like, I would expect you to be a good friend and not be like, dude, like, I'll talk to you later, I gotta go. Because I want you to be a good friend. Like, if I'm gonna potentially date you or think about anything going romantically or anything, like, I want you to be a good person first and foremost. I don't want you to care more about getting your dickiana wet. This commenter said, okay, so let me get this straight. She likes you, you like her. She admitted to you that she wants to have sex with you, but needed to get drunk to admit it. Regardless of the mate's divorce thing, good of you, by the way. Well done actually being a good friend in that situation. You have a girl in your bed who wants to be there, and you're waiting for a silent train home before having a chat. After today's talk and today's kiss, you do realize that she was waiting for you to join her in bed, and then you didn't. I know your friend's problems had to be dealt with. Right now, she doesn't. She waited for you, you never showed up, and now you're going to force an awkward train home together on her. You go to bed right now. You be there when she wakes up and you kiss her as soon as you can. If you want her, let her know that. Don't torture the girl. She's already embarrassed. Don't make it worse for her. So true. Because especially if she's going to wake up the next morning, she's going to be like, oh my God, we kissed and then we were going to like, I feel like I thought something was going to happen and then he never showed. Like, that's so embarrassing. She does not know the context of what happened and what you were doing to not show up. Like, she might have just thought, oh, like, he probably doesn't want this or whatever, so I'm just gonna go to bed. So just talk to her. Like, hello? You're 31. Mind you, 23 and 31. 23 is pretty young, I would say. Like, it is verging on that, like, I don't know, 31 is a very different time in your life than 23 is. So that's something that is in the back of my head right now. But putting that aside, you're 31 years old. Like, can you just communicate a little bit? You can just talk to someone about something. It's not that big of a deal. I don't know why he's like freaking out. Like, oh, she's not going to want to talk about it at the train, so I need to wait and then I'll have to talk to her about it. Like, dude, just... You're 31 years old. Just speak. Okay, this is the final update 2 days later. Long story short, my best friend and I are with my mates at their summer house. She got way too drunk and tried to hit on me. We woke up spooning and I kissed her first off and apologized about not showing up. Tried to explain the situation with my mate. She said she heard the fighting and tried to stay awake, but she fell asleep. She did say she was wondering where I was, so I just said I was here now. Kissed again, but didn't have much time since we needed to catch our train. The train was horrible. There were all sorts of delays and we pretty much spent the whole damn day on that train. She wasn't as talkative as I would expect, but it wasn't that awkward. We held hands, I put my arm around her, she rested her head on me, etc. We got to the train station and it was already dark. We drove back to my house where she had left her bike in my backyard. We were complaining about the train, trying to be casual. We started talking about where we were and talked about whether or not we were at risk of ruining our friendship or if we should just take a chance. I told her I'm in love with her. She told me she's in love with me too. We kissed, we embraced, we made love. We cuddled. Love is wonderful. What? The way that this started out, it's like, yeah, we're best friends. And now he's like, I told her I'm in love with her. And she said she's in love with me. Like, huh? Okay. Period, I guess. Like, I really wonder where they're at now. I mean, this was in 2012, which I just realized, like, that's literally so long ago. That was the first year of high school. That was when I started high school, my freshman year of high school. That's so crazy to think about. But I wonder, I'm sure they're not together. Honestly, I doubt they're together, but like, The top comment says 2 whole paragraphs about logistics and transport issues, then a couple of sentences. Oh yeah, we both confessed our love and then effed. That was like reading a Patrick O'Brien novel. This says, by the comments, we're in the before age gap discourse area. The signs are usually there in the age gap issue threads. Older man dating a younger woman because he's controlling and she doesn't have good boundaries. I just don't see that here. Yeah, but regardless, like, it's still something that I think about. Even if it's not a situation like that, I still think, like, okay, 31 and 23 is kind of crazy. And, like, also, how are you best friends with someone like, you're 31 and your best friend is 23? I'm like, that's kind of crazy. This person said, I don't really mind the age difference, but I do find it odd that a 23-year-old and a 31-year-old are BFFs. And OP happily refers to her as best friend and BFF while he actively wants to sleep with her and sounds like he always has, and this was not suddenly prompted by her making a move. Doesn't really read as BFF to me. Right, that's what I was thinking too. Like, when you think BFF, you're not thinking like potentially I'm gonna hook up with you or like take you as a date when all of my all of my best friends are bringing their wives. I don't know. It's just giving. Like, I have a best friend that's a guy, a male best friend, and we've been best friends since I was in like 8th grade. He's like a couple years older than me, but so, and we like have I've been best friends with him through all of his relationships, like so many of his relationships, and I honestly, like, he's definitely actually, yeah, he did come and visit me when I was dating my ex, and that was crazy because he got really drunk, and I guess he was like, which he's straight, but I guess he was like hitting on my ex, and this is just gonna like tell you who my ex-boyfriend was. Like, it wasn't like anything uncomfortable. He was just being like silly. He was drunk and like, yeah, my ex was like, oh my God, he was like hitting on me and he was like my ex was being so weird and annoying about it. And I was like, okay, well, he was being like rude about it. I don't even know how to explain it. It was so long ago. I barely even remember what happened. I just remember it being a whole situation. And like, that was the first time that my best friend had met my boyfriend at the time. But like, I would have chosen my best friend over him a million times over. We broke up like every day. I've told you guys 1.5 million times how many times we broke up. And yeah, I just remember that being a whole situation. And I just know that my best friend was like embarrassed because he was really drunk that night. But yeah, I was like, okay. But I love my best friend. Like, we never had any type of, like, we were going to hook up or we were going to be. There was maybe, like, I can't even call it, like, anything romantic. We never were romantic. I think that it was, like, one time when he slept with one of my close friends, and I was like kind of annoyed about it, but I didn't know why I was annoyed about it. I think it was just like so random, and I don't know. I really didn't have feelings for him, but I think I was just like confused or something. And I was like, okay, period. Like, he was sleeping at my house that night. And then I was sleeping in my room. He was sleeping in my guest room. And then my close friend came over and she went in that room, and then they ended up like hooking up and sleeping together. And then the next day I was like, wait. And I was like pissed off for some reason, and I don't know why. But hey, I was like a sophomore in high school. I don't know. Feelings are crazy at that age, you know? But it's actually crazy. I've been best friends with him for 15 years. Love you guys so much. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.